if it goes all three, I'm certainly not going to be complaining. So, you know, that's how I'm going to look at it. We're in for a great series regardless. This is already underway. And NiP going to be picking up some utility between GetRight and Lecro, enough to go for a B-side play if they would like. Maniz checks mid early, and he will spot Forest there. That's not enough to tempt any more players to rotate up toward A just yet, and that's largely thanks to this double connector hold from Devils.one. Diha quickly throwing up in the boost there, and that nets them a kill onto Rez. So NiP sitting a man down now.
Dennis hears those footsteps, maybe wondering if they're rotating players, but instead there are just players falling back to a passive B setup here. An advantage, so can't afford to play for retake, but no kit, so they would probably prefer to not give away a bomb plant. That being said, let's see. NiP in the bomb site already. It's Lecro to make first contact, and not going too well for him. Diha's second kill as the bomb plant comes in, and oh dear, he is just on a tear right now. Third frag, third bullet. Mouse and Maniz swooping in for the final two, and that is a clean retake, Harry. Not a single death from Devils.one. Certainly helped out by the initial 3-on-5 that Diha managed to pull Devils.one into, but NiP not able to get their foot in the door there.
Nice, that's a good start for the Polish squad. And I do just like, I really like this team. I remember watching it when they played under the Kingwin banner. I keep bringing it up, back in Montreal, right? And yeah. I was immediately kind of very interested to see what this squad could accomplish, right? One of the things I'm liking is obviously you got Taz as the old blood rather than there as well, and other players been around the block. But then they bring in some of the young talent, the youngest being, or not youngest, I guess the least proven being Diha. And it's certainly looking like it's worked out for them, right? Taz had to try to essentially assemble this team from the remnants, the leftovers that weren't snatched up by VP, and he's done a stellar job with it. This round NiP, they've gone for this force buy. They've thrown a couple of AKs between Dennis and Forest. They've cleared out Connector in this round.
Boost up may get caught. Rez, oh, timing. They deconstruct it when they hear the door. Spam coming through both ways. No one getting tagged though. Dodging bullets left and right here, but look at NiP's control up towards the A side. There's only one defender here calling for reinforcements. Is Maniz. As two T's sit aggressively by the toilets. Miles' rotation is so well timed. Dennis not ready for it. Maniz climbing up above, but Forest won't take him off his peg.
Key player to find though is Dennis, because I'm not mistaken, he was one of the players who had the rifles out in this round. So that's already been dropped. Maniz with the long aggression. Lecro's on the other side, and these rotations have already came through for Devils.one. Down goes Lecro. Obviously didn't have armor behind that deagle, so the aim punch really playing into things, and everyone dies. Devils.one going to convert that second round. NiP's force buy finds absolutely nothing.
Just see CT's fragging out. I mean, down on long there with the UMP, not waiting, not letting NiP set up with their rifles, just pushing in the face. Was Maniz. Finds 3 kills off the back of it. So yeah, second round converted. The force buy for NiP. Not finding success. Our streak has been broken in this series, Harry. More pistols for NiP. This time less behind it. No armor / utility. It's going to be another chance for Devils.one to make some money, reap some rewards, and find some frags. And Maniz certainly looking to do so. Nades Rez back early on. NiP filter down towards long with that bomb. Actually, Party, it's been spotted, so Maniz will call for help over on A. Very easy to run, you know, heavy B setups on Overpass to start off the majority of your rifle rounds. Have your aggressive CT players get info, and then rotate off the back of that. So that's what Devils.one have done. Triple A setup here, and NiP closing the distance.
Ooh. Yeah, they closed the distance, but you ran into the gun of Maniz, and Ralin posted up to shut this down. And I was going to say they should keep this clean. They lose one man, but yeah, that is it. A 3-0 start for Devils.one here as they get off to a rip-roaring beginning on Overpass over on their CT side. But now we've got a buy for NiP. There will not be an AWP in sight over on the T side of things. It's when we look down the Devils.one roster that we see Maniz bringing his out early on. So that's why it's not the end of the world that he goes down there in the round prior. And yeah, you look at this buy from Devils.one, and considering this is you know, almost their version of a bonus round, right? They haven't really had to rebuy anything apart from the AWP on Manise, so that is stellar for Devils.one, and actually a bit of damage done onto Rez initially from that AWP. He's been tagged down at just 31 points of health off the bat.
Oh, that nade almost finishes the job. Just avoiding it. These A players having backed off, but re-aggressing within the toilets is going to be Rowland and Manise. Still conceding long, but not a problem just yet. NiP yet to touch that portion of the map. The re-aggression with the AWP does find a kill, though. Rez gets finished off by the AWP. Electro a pick in the meantime, and that may have opened up the B site somewhat, but Manise is shutting down things on the other side of the map. Mal's even getting a wallbang kill. No idea where that was from to get right. It was actually through the short corner on B, through that plywood. So 2 players left up for NiP, and the bomb's still back towards Party. They're hoping for someone to overstep the mark here, but Rallen's not even been spotted getting inside of this connector. Very valuable position that he's pushed up from. And he'll hear this rotate as well. You can see him. Dennis is going all the way back around T-spawn because Letgro's crept into B. Mouse is going to spot it, but not going to be able to take the kill. Letgro with the entry and playing passive are Devils.one here. They're going to have to give up the site and allow this bomb to go down.
Yeah, bomb plant's going to be afforded. Oh, maybe not. Rowland making his presence known from short. That's the bomb dropped, and he's just able to duck out of there in time. He will go untraded. Letcro tapping on the bomb, tries to bait peaks, but Devils.one, a 4th round of their name. And they managed to keep 3 players alive to boot. So as we kind of saw for NiP when they got off to... Or sorry, not NiP rather. As we've seen throughout all the series thus far. I was going to reference the NiP game from the other day, obviously, as well. But it's kind of been the case that we've seen very, very one-sided starts, you know, and then one team gets a 6-7 round kind of lead, and then we see the turnaround, and we see the economy really punish the winning team, right? But with how clean Devils.one have been able to keep these first few rounds, they are building up the bank to fight against that fact. Tactical pause going to be called in now for the NiP squad. Have a brief moment to make sure everyone's on the same page. You don't want to let Devils.one continue to build upon this momentum. They're already sitting 1-0 up in this series, so all the pressure is on NiP, right? They come into this as the clear favourites. And yeah, I mean, they were the real contenders to go toe-to-toe with FaZe for topping this group, right? So this would... yeah, a very surprising result. Devils.one off to a great start, and NiP going with the force buy here. They've got 2 AKs between Letcro and Dennis, saving a bit of cash on the rest of the squad. They could even look to buy in the next round if they get this bomb down. So that's very much a minimum here for NiP.
And with this buy, they definitely hope they'd be able to get into that kind of situation. Solo AWP on that A site, but pre-rotation is coming, so only held for the start of the round just to fight up against potential B-rush. Devils.one know the money of NiP is in shatters, or tatters rather. The money is shattered. So NiP slowly working their way up towards this A bomb site. The issue is the AWP at the end of it. Now Get Right has a smoke, but he's late to the party, quite literally outside the fountain. Manise may have to deal with this boost, but easy shot for him to hit. Lightgrow walks right into his crosshair, no adjustment needed. And Devils.one man advantage early on. They know there has to be 2 on long at least. And that's why we have this AAA setup. Very, very confident in taking these fights. They'll be peeking aggressively down short as these T's set up for the execute. No flashbangs to force any CTs off the angle. That's going to make matters even worse.
I still haven't seen a single one of these rifles yet, though, on the side of Devils.one. So you're not anticipating this investment from NiP if you are the Polish side. That's something that could stand to catch them off guard as they go pushing in. Get Right able to open things up. They don't check for Taz, although Forrest will. And he's trying to trade. Now the responsibility of this A bomb site falls on his shoulders. He'll try and answer the call. Get Right. 1v2 would have been required there. Diho will shut him down. Gets that trade. Stops the last man in his tracks and solidifies the 5-0 lead here for the Polish side of things. No bomb plant. Is actually I was going to say, well, it could matter, but it doesn't here for NiP. They save money on everyone else, so they're able to jiggle the cash around so that they have a bite.
It's still not great, though. I mean, there's limitations on Dennis and Lekra in terms of that util, but yeah, not the end of the world. And it was worth it to get those 2 AKs in the previous round to at least give yourself a chance to win it. I respect the decision, but doesn't always work out in play. And he's had a great start to this game, Harry. Someone you wanted to, you really wanted to see a lot from him, and he has provided that, at least here. 10-2 right now. Solo A player once again. No need for a rotate just yet, although there will be one eventually as nothing transpires on this B bomb site. Rowland goes for the rotate, covered by the shots through the wall, which will mask the footsteps to any B short players. And NiP again, the slow default towards A. They have Forest on the AWP, and he needs to be either make or NiP may break. And here's the fight. He actually spots it. Forest doesn't get the shot, connecting at least. Maniz goes above, and Forest will go beyond, finding the kill. Re-aggression from Rowland close up to the toilet, but doesn't want to walk around this corner because Forest is still scoped in.
Yeah, you don't want to be throwing any more bodies at this man than you have to. And now with connector control secured earlier on in the round, NiP can look to split down toward this B bomb site. That's the versatility of having it. Allows for such a fast rotation on the T side of things. Push now looking to come in, and Rez just decapitates the first man. It's Diha all that's left, and Lekro shuts him down as well. NiP looking like they could be onto a clean round here.
Lekro has a lovely forehead, but it's not going to matter here for Devils.one. They are opting to save Taz getting out of there, or at least considering it. Tried to jump up on top of pallets, but that's not a position, so he plays the left corner for an off angle, waiting for NiP to potentially chase his footsteps. They will not choose to do so. So Taz gets away with his gun, at least for now. Rowland, he's far away as well. Devils.one finally losing their first round, and it's important that it's clean for NiP as well. With 4 guns being kept alive, means it's not like, Devils.one can easily bounce back and break the cache nice and early.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, NiP still obviously with that max loss bonus, so yeah, you're bang on there. Keeping 4 players alive is going to be so valuable to them so that they can't just get reset instantaneously on the back of it.
And actually a pause for Devils.one as well, a moment to reflect on that previous round, especially after, it being your first loss. Try and break down exactly, how you want to change your setup to avoid that. Obviously, losing the AWP duel at the beginning was a big factor there. Forrest getting rid of Maniz at the start of the round. If he can continue to do that, now that he's actually got the AWP, this could certainly be the change that NiP needed, the first time they've had that gun. Especially when Maniz was styling on them in the first 5 rounds. He's going to have it once again, though, so we might be able to see that battle a little bit more on the A site.
Oh, we certainly might get to see it. Maniz decides against the mid-aggression, instead just going to throw the nade in, and that does land a bit of damage onto Rez. Getting pressured down towards the B side of things. His job is just to keep an eye on this portion of the map and not allow any aggression from the Devils.one side. But if their CT side here is anything like how they played on Mirage, the odds are we don't really see too much aggression. Connector control going to be snapped up by Lekro once again. This has been his responsibility in these last few rounds. He's had a very easy job of it. Devils.one not really electing to take any of these fights down in connector bar the pistol round. So NiP, they haven't seen anyone, but in a lot of ways that can be enough, right? They've cleared out connector, they've cleared down towards this B bomb site. You're starting to spread out across the map and nullify these positions that Devils.one can be in. Yeah, still able to open things up. Instant trade is in from Get Right, but Mao's able to shut him down and stop this problem before it gets too out of hand. Mao's will deliver a second. And this leaves Dennis and Rez
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in a very unlikely scenario there. Devils.one going to be straight back in with the retort, a 6-1 lead. But that's where we can, and as we have touched upon, NiP keeping that round clean in the one round they were able to get. Having the max loss bonus means that a bye can still come through here.
Fantastic flashbang from Maniz. Fully blinds those two players pushing back into the B site there from NiP in the 2-on-4. Allows Mouse to clean up over a monster. And Maniz, he had the spawn, Harry. He's going for a bit of an aggressive A play with this AWP. Forest on the other side, but no shot connecting. They've already crossed towards the playground. Forest is just holding for the repeat while Get Right and Letcrow lurk through the tunnels below. Devils.one now set up very heavy on long. Very rare to see 3 players dedicated here, but knowing that NiP have not pushed this position in quite a while might be one of the reasons as to why. Also, there's no way NiP will expect it. Even if they take short to sight, if you get retaken from long by 3 players, you're going to be like, what the hell just went on?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've heard of the bait and switch long up. Well, this is the bait and switch long setup. I mean, he's going to draw the attention away, and then you've got Rallen and Taz to respond on the other side of things. And, you know, even if, yeah, exactly, if you're NiP and you spot Maniz and then you deal with one of these players at long, it's the second man that's going to surprise you. You can see Taz just playing the anti-flash, Rallen holding for this initial peek, and these two can almost trade out as this push comes on in. Taz now makes his presence known, and that's the bomb drop. 35 seconds time has become a reoccurring nightmare for NiP. And this round could be a similar story. Mao's deleting another in the meantime. Get Right falls on his push into the A bomb site. And now Taz on this bomb will fall at the very least. 20 seconds on the clock though. This A side take has to come through for NiP, and yeah, they just give it up. They back off. They're just going to save here. So a 7th round for the Polish side.
And I love the setup as well, right? It's not straight off the bat. They had that early B presence like Devils.one have been doing round after round to deny the early rushes from NiP. And then boom, straight into the long setup. Position NiP haven't pushed for rounds. And, you know, just kind of playing the numbers game, playing a gamble. And it works out for them. So nice setup from Devils.one. 7-1 lead here, Harry, on map 2. This is NiP's pick, who are a map down, facing a defeat to, on paper, the bottom team in the group. But that's about to change. Because if Devils.one pick this one up, they are going to be sitting with 1 win alongside NiP, but above Heroic, who is still yet to grace the scoreboards with an actual best-of-3 victory. Taken 2 maps, but...
But then you run into the terrifying scenario for NiP, where they're playing versus FaZe tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
They're not with an easy streak by any stretch to guarantee that 2nd/3rd place spot.
The flip side is it works both ways, right? We could get into a 1-1-1 tie with, you know, Heroic beating Devils.one tomorrow, and
no, I think you can only have a 2-way tie here, surely.
Well, no, if Devils.one win this game,
yeah, they move
they have one,
alongside
NiP have one, and then if Heroic beat Devils.one tomorrow and NiP lose to FaZe, NiP stay one, Devils.one stay one, and Heroic gain
right.
one.
You've crunched the numbers.
So boom, we have a triple threat, Harry.
Yeah, this throws a lot up in the air. This one matchup. And yeah, I mean, the reason why I was looking at it as being scary is, you know, if NiP lose that game versus FaZe and then maybe Heroic upset by winning Devils.one. I mean, I don't even know if you'd call that an upset, but if they did for NiP, you know, you're throwing down into that 1-2 section with Heroic. Anyway, this B-side play is looking to come through from NiP. They've got all 5 players this side of the map. You and I can break down the numbers when we don't have Counter-Strike to watch. Mowers is here. Flash facilitates the peek. Him and Taz good for 2 between them. And now Taz still repositioning, still looking to try and lock down this B-bomb site. That's a great nade from Rallen. And Forest falls as well. So an 8-1 lead for Devils.one. Seemingly unstoppable on this CT side.
Yeah, the utility has been great from Devils.one all game. I mean, the flashes for the repeats, these nades coming out from short from Rallen. And NiP, yeah, it's about time. Tactical pause coming in second of this map for the Ninjas. They're 8-1 down, and they're out of cash, Harry. Got to go for pistols in this follow-up round while Devils.one run wild on this CT side. For a team that picked this map, NiP seemingly lacking a game plan on the T side, it's not like they haven't been able to get into viable positions, and it's not like Devils.one aren't giving the map control. We're getting NiP with, you know, good amount of time left, close up towards this A site. We haven't seen, other than that previous round, we haven't seen Devils.one in B short. I mean, these are all very common ways that CTs can gain advantages, but they're not needing to do so. They're just playing clean, methodical Counter-Strike and trading very effectively.
Yeah, and you know, you think about how NiP do like to play, right? They're a team that's pretty reliant on being able to open things up, right, and take that man advantage, try and play off the back of it. That's where a lot of the decision-making looks to come from and how they play these rounds. So the fact that Devils.one are just hunkering back in these bomb sites, you know, turtling up, not giving NiP anything to work with, it's proven to be very effective right now. Just the partial investment here from the Swedes. Short water control going to be taken almost immediately along with Connector.
Ooh. Little barrel nade.
It's not going to find much though. No one at the barrels. Nice attempt.
It's actually for the pillar instead, for that right short peak that Mouse has been holding for quite a lot of this map. But still no success. Little boost employed. This could find something. Mouse, oh, he's back on that position. And he's going to win the fight as well. No survivors here as Mouse doubles it. 11-3 on him. He is having a fantastic game alongside Maniz. 3 players left up for NiP. Couple of flashbangs and a smoke to hit a bomb site, but Devils.one can't be quaking in their boots for now. NiP going to decide to rotate round. They've already got Forest up in the toilets. As said, Devils.one not playing aggressive on the CT side. And maybe NiP were hoping they were, because they have to commit towards a site, it seems, to actually get kills on this T side, and Maniz is not going to let them. AWP posted on long. Forest has already crossed to the right side. He's going back to short, wins his battle. Doesn't know the Forest is deep, but doesn't matter. Hits a shot anyway. Now Rez alone, who set up the utility, does manage to drop the AWP, but he'll get no further. 2 HP the difference on Rowland, and 9-1 the scoreline for Devils.one.
This is just incredible. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's no other word for it, right? I'm actually stunned at how one-sided this has been for Devils.one here on Overpass.
And no AWP here for Forest. I mean, he's got the money for it, but he opts not to go for it. Interesting decision, considering the one round that NiP won was the one where Forest got an opening kill with the AWP. So that was on to Maniz as well, who has still been a terrifying player to deal with. Forest again, opening kill for him. Will it be the round that NiP so desperately need? Not looking good so far. Maniz trades it right back. The nade is going to land pretty well. It does do some damage to Taz, but he can easily avoid that spam. It's far scarier as a T on the other side, and I don't know how he's not killed them there. So close yet so far. Is NiP set up for this B play? Devils.one continually jump spotting, continually getting this information, and they've got a triple B set up off the back of it.
As Maniz gracing the scoreboard with another, he will finally get wrapped onto by Get Right. Taz and Rowland here trying to keep the dream alive, and Lecro will deal with Taz. It's Rowland left up in a 1v3. Now, money is actually not that great for a team that's 9-1 up over in the Devils.one camp. Rowland still doesn't look too off-put. He has snuck up. The issue is Dennis and Get Right with this crossfire. It will be Get Right with a hat-trick in that round. 3 kills for him, and NiP onto their second. Now, this is where, if you're Devils.one, you can't get too far ahead of yourself, right? You might have been 9-1 up. Yeah. NiP, they know they're still the favorites in this series. They definitely have the ability, and we've seen countless times these big comebacks come through. Yeah,
I was going to say, what's the point you've been rallying off, Harry? We've had very dominant leads throughout the entirety of this Pro League, but yet still very equal halves, and that's because we've seen these 8-1s, these 9-2s, and they're ending 9-6, and they're ending 10-5, so NiP still got a chance to pull this game back, at least for this half. Looking to maybe speed up the pace. Miss Molotov, though, that will come back to haunt them. They've got to run right by it. Get Right does get to the B short position, but it's only map control, no kills from it. Connector's going to be contained by Devils.one, and Lecro pushes the smoke. He finds one. Dink to 29, and he doesn't know there's another player here either. Alan's just waiting for the timing on this peak, and he'll get it. Low HP, Lecro had no chance. So back into the 4-on-4, but look at Rez's position. This is so valuable. And the bomb's rotating off the back of it.
Yeah, you spot the double connector play, right? And now you know that one of these bomb sites has to be a bit weaker as a result. Rez has been given a lot of real estate here. Timing is going to be everything, and Manish actually switched up to keep an eye on the long play. Rez was already past his crosshair, though, so he just gets blindsided by the aggressive man for NiP, and this A bomb site is crumbled. Rallen wrapping round up through connector, trying to be the difference maker. And maybe if he catches Forest so deep back in party, we see Devils.one tempted to go for this, because right now they're just not moving.
Nah, and that's not changing. Get Right's even lurking for these exits as well. Catching one off guard, Mouse is dead. Molotov in his hand, so Taz will strike and strike from behind, dropping him. 2 on 3 as Devils.one get the exits, and Rallen won't be able to find Forest just yet, but he's coming back on long. Making some noise on the way as well, so if he commits to this push, it could be a free kill. There's no one here to trade for Forest. And that's a free AWP gifted over. If Rallen could just stay alive and not get killed by these two players that are now swooping in to try and get this AWP away, that's a big gun to give over to Miniz in the follow-up round. You just mentioned, Harry, the money not being perfect. We may even see Rallen stick with it, considering he has armor and $2,000 per player. But it's still a huge weapon to save in, you know, a round where Devils.one are not going to have much to play with.
And so NiP, it took them a long time, but they're starting to find some success here. They're starting to build up this repertoire over on the T side. And now, 3-9 suddenly doesn't look as bad, especially when you consider this fourth round should be almost guaranteed. You've just got the one AK that Taz saved and the AWP that Rallen held on to worry about. So if all goes to plan, this should be a fourth round for NiP, and at that point, they've salvaged a very recoverable T-side half. That's where you can start believing again in this NiP squad. Rallen and Taz have to come up big here for Devils.one if they want to secure a 10th, and you're asking for a hell of a lot. Just pistols for the rest of the gang. They don't have much to supplement this buy with. Rallen's taking the AWP over here towards short, and he's looking for a duel. Get Right is barreling through this position, so one might present itself for Rallen. They're going to try and time this with a connector peek, you would imagine, but a missed shot. Get Right able to open things up. Manish falls shortly after, and this does just leave 3 players left standing within the opening 30 seconds of this round for Devils.one.
And NiP, they don't rush as well. This is a problem they had back on Mirage, where they would get these picks and then just charge into a bomb site, and it lost them so many situations. Now they get the picks, they slow down, they wait for Devil's reaction, knowing that these CTs are going to be adjusting their rotations in this 3-on-5. Letgo is thankful for Rez. These 2 down on long now for Devils.one. NiP with 4 rounds on the horizon. The AWP is not going to be saved here for Devils.one. Got Forest on that. Bomb site taken and bomb plant confirmed. It's going to be NiP with 4 here on this T side. Slowly but surely pulling this one back. It was 9-1, Harry, as we've said. And bit by bit they're getting into the game. The AWP thrown out the map. And hey, if this ended 9-6, that's a decent half for NiP.
I mean, yeah, that's a great half for NiP, right? Taz will be allowed to get away with this AK, at least for now. I was not able to get away with that scavenged rifle from Dennis's body, but a 4th for NiP. And I mean, yeah, now this is already shaping up to be a good T-side, right? I mean, you get one more round. Once again, you've broken Devils.one economy into the last round of this first half. And at that point, that 6-9 is almost guaranteed. So this round becomes an important one for NiP. Curious what the buy is going to look like for Devils.one. We've got the AWP over on Manish. He had a bit of extra cash for it.
Still far from a perfect buy for Devils.one. No incendiaries, couple of kits. Forest, is he considering the sun wallbang maybe, but not going to go for it. NiP again gifted a lot of control early on, holding the exteriors of B and working through the connector. No double stack today for Devils.one, who have just separated into a fairly default setup. AWP watching long. We've got Rallen on the short position as well, and he's going to be met with 3 Swedes splitting his way, 2 from the con side, 1 at party, and a 4th if Rez pushes his fountain.
Oh. Good shot from Forrest to win that out. He does get dinked, but man advantage taken, and once again NiP, here's that slowdown. Not wanting to get overzealous in the 5v4.
Oh, no.
In Devils.one, they've hedged their bets. They've rotated everyone up towards this A side of the map. And with the bomb still dropped back over in T-Con, there is a lot of room for NiP to maneuver here. They know that they've got connector control. They cleared that out earlier. Re-aggression from Taz, and that's Dennis. Gifted that kill. Mouse will be in with the response, but now you've spotted, you know there's 3 players, or there were 3 players towards this A side of the map. NiP, they're just going to go charging right into it anyway. D has rotated off, and this leaves Manice alone at this A bomb site.
Oh, a missed shot. That could have made the difference, but now he's going to peek back into Forrest. Already scoped in with 3 kills to his name. Diha trying to save the day, but this is a 1-on-4 that's not meant to be. They're spamming him down, and Get Right will clean it up. It's NiP finding 5. A crucial round, as you say, Harry, because it breaks the money of the polls as we head into the last round of the half. What a recovery this has been from NiP, who were 9-1 down initially. Now looking to make it 9-6 on their T side. What has Devils.one got for us? We've got some rifles, the AWP for Maniz. SMGs around that. So yeah, NiP very much well favored into this last round of the half.
I don't know how Rallen's nade does 0 damage there to the players over in T-Con, but right now Devils.one just getting lit up. Get Right holding for this aggression will actually get dropped, so spots the 2-man push. NiP, they know that they've lost control over here towards Monster and that a weapon has been retrieved. How are they going to try and respond to this? It's looking like it could just be a faster play into the A bomb site, but there's a crossfire set up here in the toilets. Rallen and Manice on the other side. There's 1 for Rallen. Now they know he's here. The trade has to come through, but he's got above and beyond. He's dropped absolutely everyone, and suddenly it's Dennis. 1v5. That is not how this round ever should have gone down.
NiP have been given toilets control all map long. They have not once had to fight for that position, so they finally get A control and they go for a setup, expecting them to just be able to waltz onto the bomb site and meet pistol crossfires, but no. Devils.one switch it up for the last round of the half. And surely Dennis is no longer for this world. It's 10 rounds on the half. That is very, very good for Devils.one, who, were letting NiP get back into the game. They win it out at the end with the low buy and still take a very convincing CT side. Now NiP now move to their CT side of their map pick of Overpass. We're going to see if they can pull things back from this very, very one-sided game. Do join us after the break to see how this all goes down.
Walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk on, baby. Pitch me and you make believe
Well, NiP fans are sweating. Devils.one fans may be regretting, as it was a pretty big lead here for the Polish squad in that first half. They were 9-1 up at one point in time. It ends 10-5, and now NiP moving over to the CT side on their map pick, sitting 0-1 down in this series. You read that correctly. Devils.one doing a good job of picking up their map pick and Mirage. And while it looked like they were poised to take this series 2-0, a 10-5 scoreline, pretty run-of-the-mill here on Overpass, so definitely recoverable from the Swedes. The pistol round would be a big step in the right direction, and Devils.one looking to just go for this fast B play. Already it's trades back and forth, and this pistol round just as scrappy as a lot of these rounds were towards the end of the first half. Rez still alive, still kicking, and still racking up a body count. It's Manist in the 1v4.
Yet to be seen, but he needs to grab that bomb if he wants to do anything here. They will give him that at least, but immediate gunfight. Dennis tagged. Now this is winnable. Look at the health. NiP with 3 players on sub 50. And Maniz, he's walking into a full stacked bomb site here. A rotate might be the better call to make, but he's going to go right for it into the jaws of the lion. And it will bite. NiP take the pistol round, and combined with the fact that they pulled this back from a 9-1 to a 10-5 and then add on a pistol, and this is certainly good for NiP in terms of, you know, having a realistic comeback into this game. Devils.one, who have not been choosing to force buy after losing pistols in this series, will continue that. Hard eco from the Poles. Rowling gets a P250, but no, it says no one spent any money, so no idea how that happened, but odds now favourable, or not favourable, equal rather. Made quite the turn. This should just be a clean sweep for NiP. I mean, it is just Glocks and a lone P250 after all. The rifles having great success. Bait shot, and Taz does get one with a Glock, but no more. NiP takes 7 on the CT side, and now we have AKs for the Polish.
Yeah, this is where we get to see how this second map unveils, right? Or unravels, sorry, would probably be the better word. Get right on the P90, by the way. Nice little touch. He loves using off-meta weapons, does Get right. I believe he claimed that his favorite weapons are the dualies, so yeah, you know, say what you will. Forest and Manise trading a bit of damage. It's Forest getting tagged, I think, either by the Molotov or on a wall bang there in through the plywood. Will get himself nice and quickly into this position down in short water. Has Get right nearby to help out. Devils.one, similar sort of game plan to what we saw on Mirage as to how they approach these T-side defaults, just posting up and hoping that someone from NiP walks into your crosshair. Set smokes now raining in toward the B-bomb site. Smoke down and cut off the player at Graffiti, one in the heavens. But no push to follow up on the back of this utility usage down into B.
45 seconds on the clock. Devils.one got to approach the site sooner rather than later. This bomb only just coming out from the B site through the spawn. Rallin is about as far pushed up as they have over towards A. Yet to even clear out the toilets are Devils.one. And they better get doing that now, because 30 seconds. NiP jump spotting long. Rez still with utility to slow down or, if anything, shut down this push. That smoke goes on the site instead. And now he's going to get fully rushed by 3 long players. Flash is there. They look away, and Rez gets himself a double. Bomb out in the open. 15 seconds left up. Even with that kill from Rallin, this round is done. There's no way Devils.one can get the plant.
Yeah, Rez is just wasting time, and he's wasted it well. That will be the round for NiP. They're in with an 8th. And that first buy from Devils.one, it does not inspire confidence for them to take this second map. It, you know, really lacked any sort of results for them. Aside from those few little kills that Rowland's able to throw into the mix, nothing else goes their way. And I feel like, on Mirage, right, you can definitely take these slower T-side defaults, right? You can just hold and give up a bit of map control here and there, wait for NiP to walk into your crosshair. Here on Overpass, I don't think you can look to replicate that same story, right? As we saw in that round there, with 30 seconds left, you're having to start to clear toilets. You haven't even gained that portion of the map all long. Not to mention they gave up short water earlier on in the round, right? Forest and GetRight were very, very fast on those rotations. You were allowed to have a couple of extra players inside of the A bomb site if you're NiP on the back of the information that you get.
Now, game plan needs to be devised from Devils.one over on this T side. Interesting to see how they choose to put their money into this one. It will just be a half buy with Scout and Rowland, Pistols and everyone else. One solo hero AK for Maniz, but the Molotov, thanks to Rush there, NiP must have learned it from. Going to deny Devils.one access towards the A site early on. They have to go through the connector instead. Although this is the perfect round for it with heavy pistol control. They can just look to trade off the back of each other. Rez flashed off, going to have to move back. He spots a couple. Might have seen the bomb there as well. It went out second, so got to be careful there. Maniz with a solo AK will get picked off early on by Dennis on the site, but that gun can just be traded over to the next man with armor, that of which there are two. Miles takes it. Boost up here as well, try and catch a player on the site. The nade is good, but the shots are better. Rez drops them both. Bomb as well. NiP are running wild over this. I wouldn't even call it a buy round. Half buy for Devils.one, and I don't think that's going to change. Two men left up, and NiP are getting aggressive.
Yeah, only Taz left standing at a 1v5. Has dispatched of GetRight, but I mean, that's a minor step in the right direction. And for Taz to even consider this a possibility, he first has to deal with the matter that is this bomb. As he looks to retrieve it, NiP with 3 players inside the A bomb site, and the wrap from Forest should have this round guaranteed. Taz, even as he finds Dennis, it's the wrap from Forest that's the failsafe here from NiP. 15 seconds on the clock, and not a hope in the world for Taz. That will be the 9th for the Swedes.
Just like a very canonical damage as well. I mean, he didn't even have the bomb when he pushed the site there, knowing that it was just a half buy for Devils.one. They've got the follow-up buy here as well. So any kills that he gets can lower NiP's economy in the long run. And that we're just starting to build on the CT side. This would be the equalizing round if they can find it. Maniz nothing but a CZ, 4 AKs on the rest. He was that hero AK in the previous round, so it's denied him getting anything here, including that AWP. Although Forest is yet to pull one up for NiP too, so it's not too much of a worry. Dennis scoped on down from the party. Bit of a surprising position, and Maniz will learn that the hard way. Bomb gets spotted as well. More info for NiP. You can potentially decide to get aggressive on B, or even just rotate a man off. They'll just stick and stop in their tracks right now, but D are trying to get something done in the toilet. NiP won't give them the jewel. They're going to rotate GetRight up eventually from the spawn. And Devils.one looking to take long as well. They've got to get rid of Dennis first.
And that is easier said than done. Taz and Rowland both bested. Dennis turning away from the flashbang, still alive, still kicking, finally silenced by Mowers, but it took 4 players to deal with 1 man. And so now for Mowers, this feels like a very unrealistic ask. This is going to be NiP tying things up 10-10. He does at least have the bomb on his back, and okay, dealt with GetRight. Once again, though, it's the player on the lurk, Lecro, who looks to solidify this, right? He's just holding this positioning connector, and this leaves Miles in a situation where he has to play into this A bomb site. On the upside, it's only Rez and Forest here. That re-smoke is really going to throw some chaos in the way of Miles. Will be NiP tying this up 10-10. If you're at Devils.one, you're going to be kicking yourselves, right? You were 9-1 up at one point in this series, and now the Swedes have tied it up 10-10. This is where it's going to be easy to get in your own head, and you need to look to the more seasoned players such as Taz to try and keep the young guns in check. partial investment here, so certainly not the buy you want when you're staring down the barrel of this huge comeback from NiP. They're at the point now where they should and could be taking the lead in this map.
Yeah, definitely should with this buy. Pistols for Devils.one. And a B execute is the name of the game. 3 players on the site for NiP, and already look at those A players on the map. They're beginning to rotate down, go for this full-on B commitment. Smoke's going through here for Devils.one and flashes to get them out the monster. There's Molotovs all over this bomb site. Electro hides there in the barrels. Get right hiding behind the smoke as well. It's just a complete mystery on this bomb site. Electro with 2. And there's nothing that these teams can get done with the pistols. Already running dry on ammo, and Electro still not been dealt with. 3 from him. NiP take that rifle round, or anti-force buy, I guess, with an 11th. Now take the lead for the first time this map.
Yeah, for the first time in a while even, right? I mean, now we see them sat, and convincingly so, up 11-10. By at least back on the cards. Manice has got the AWP in hand, and that's the change that might be needed here for Devils.one. First time we've seen him get to bring it out over on the T side. Trying to clear connector, but this is where Get Right resides, and Diha will be able to secure the man advantage for Devils.one. First time we've seen them in such a position in a little while. So now how do they want to play on the back of it?
Got NiP still running this buddy system. Double up in the toilets. Forest is even going to rotate off of B. Gamble. Electro's alone on that site, and flashes are going in, so he may even call for that rotate back down. Although Forest is too far away to even consider it. Going up towards the toilets, trying to draw the attention from the flower beds. And also keep an eye on long, because that's a position that Devils.one could just creep their way up. But the creeping will be happening down on B, where the bomb rotates through the spawn. 4 players outside of this site, and just Rallen trying to sell the A fake. NiP, I don't think they're going to be retaking this bomb site unless Electro gets 2 or 3 kills, and he is at least committed within the pit to try and do so, but utility flying in, and the rest of the T's making their move. Electro's got to do something magical here at the back of the bomb site. Spots the head of Mouse. Bomb going down. There's the first kill. That may have opened things up. That bomb getting cancelled. Electro's in with 2, and there's just no flashbangs to keep him back. He's got an open season. Finally, Maniz finds a frag. 16 seconds. Forest can stop this bomb and do a whole lot more from above. He finds a double, and the round has fallen apart. Devils.one, 1 player left, 2 far away, and 5 seconds on the clock. It's NiP back to 12.
And it felt like all the pieces of the puzzle were there for Devils.one. That looked like it was going to be their round all day long. NiP snatch it out from underneath them. And there's smiles back on the faces of the NiP guys. It's been a little while since we saw them. Right when it was 9-1, I was getting worried. You know, it was just frowns across the board. They did not look happy. And yeah, it can be a double-edged sword to be the expected victors, right? You can get in your own head a bit when you're on those back foots. They remain resilient, they fought hard, and now they sit with a 2-round lead.
And I mean, utility has already been an issue for Devils.one this game, and they're buying up with none, Harry. They have 1 flashbang for this full AK round. I can't say that paints anything but a grim picture. You've got to hope someone hits their shots here, and Taz will certainly give it his go as he creeps into the B site. Timing gets the better of him, though. Forest peeks out from the pit, finding 1. And Devils.one, they're 12-10 down. They're relying on a solo creep into B to try and find frags. It's not working out for them, Harry. Sorry to break it to you. Rallen's going to get a pick over on A, but they're already down in a 3-on-4, and he might get caught by this reposition of the AWP. Dennis is there. NiP 4-on-2, and no utility left for Devils.one to do anything here.
Yeah, Gerard's dropped this bomb, and now that leaves Mowers in an undoable clutch. I'm looking to retrieve this bomb. He gets that at least. Does deal with Get Right. Dennis starting to push forward up at this A side of the map. Just keeping his eyes fixed on connector, the only spot that Mouse could look to rotate through. And also, I believe Squeaky Door was closed, so you'd have to open that if you wanted to look to rotate. Obviously, that's not an option now, but Cuts down Lecro. Will he be ready for Forest on the barrels? That's the X factor, the unknown quantity here for him. And now with this crossfire set up, there is no way that you win that round. NiP in with a 13th. A bit more expensive than perhaps they would have liked, but at this point, does that really matter? You know, the lead that the Polish once had has now been very much turned against them.
It's one way of putting it. And boy, are they going to be kicking themselves. The last tactical timeout now out the window, gone, used. And no money here. They have to eco. They have to give NiP 14. We need a real full buy because we've been lacking that on the T side for quite a while now. With the AWP, with full nades. Thinking of it, I can't recall a full buy round on this T side. Really, for these Poles, they've always had a caveat like Meniz, you know, buying up the AK on that hero round, then the full buy to follow. He has a CZ. Stuff like this. Devils.one money has been a bit of a problem this second half. I mean, obviously them getting 0 rounds doesn't exactly help. But what have they got for us here? Pistols and lots of nades, a B play up their sleeves as they try and take short water very fast in this round. They will get control. NiP using a lot of their Molotovs early on to try and deny this rush, but Devils.one are patient.
And just a flat B commitment here. 3 players on the other side to try and shut it down. Forest, Get Right, and Lecro lie and wait. And it's a slaughter down here at B. Miles once again asked to try and clutch, and he's been so good at least finding a couple of kills here and there, but he will get silenced by Get Right. 14-10 now, and what a comeback this has been from NiP. Since getting onto this CT side, they have been unfazed by anything that Devils.one have thrown at them. Now, obviously, that was just a partial investment. We have this full buy here. We've seen the AWP bought out once on the T side for Devils.one. They will have another shot at it in this round, but instead they go for AKs across the board.
I mean, money was, in a sense, there. Oh, no, it wasn't. They would have had 5,300 max on the most, you know, or the highest economy player there. So it really wasn't on the cards. You don't want a glass cannon. That might switch things up. Rallen with a pick. Dennis does trade it back, but 3 HP the difference. He has to retreat. I will definitely favor Devils.one, and now we're going to see the double rotate back up towards A. And NiP have not had to deal with too much A control this map. It's been relatively focused on this B site for Devils.one, so maybe this switch up could find them some success. Diha close, Molotov to the corner, but he's getting pushed up by Forest, who can always get flashed around this corner. Shots going too high, Forest ducked below it. But in the meantime, Meniz has crept up long, and this could still turn into that A pit, or A play rather. Miles is still looking down towards the lower bomb site. And Forest, how the hell has he gotten here? He just pushed past them. He's going to get 2. Bomb dropped as well, and this is all Forest round. Meniz focused on the bomb site. And to be fair, they should know he's here. He's already found a pick, but Lecro going down as well. There's 2. Can't turn back for the 3rd. Forest is already out too wide. And Miles, he may have taken B, but that's not the problem. NiP have given it up, and they're just playing the bomb.
And I've said, you know, Miles in these clutch situations, he's been so good at getting, you know, usually 2 kills at the very least. And that's all he is to do here in this one. The issue is it's Forest and Get Right on the other side. These two are always so proficient. When they are left together, they'll mop that one up nice and easy. And NiP storming forward, looking to try and lock in Nuke, looking to right their wrongs from Mirage, and now just 1 round away from it. And that round there, you know, it all falls apart. Diha actually spraying through, kind of gets some misinformation for Devils.one. They then believe that close position is clear, and Forest just usurps him, gets through the smoke, completely annihilates that A-side push, and now it is just this dismal-looking buy from Devils.one to try and keep the dream alive. From a 9-1 lead to potentially a 16-10 defeat here on Overpass, Devils.one. I don't even think regret begins to summarize how they must be feeling with the results of this game.
Ooh. Dennis, very, very patient on this angle. It's actually going to be his teammate to get aggressive round short. Dennis not rewarded for his patience because he scopes out right as Moniz goes for the fight. Allen's got him trapped, but the flashbang is fantastic, and Dennis capitalizes it. Knows there's one more player here as well, and he's going to take the fight every day of the week. NiP have been flawless on this CT side. 11 rounds in a row, and they've done it. 16-10. NiP take the victory on their map pick. It looks shaky to start, but what a finish from the Ninjas. We now head to Nuke, final map of this series, and the chance for Devils.one to come back from that crushing defeat on